The video you're about to witness is regarding the subject of the film The Trip, made in 1967 by Roger Corman and American International Pictures. My introduction to The Trip was both accidental and inevitable. The year was 2005, and I was extremely interested in the hippie culture of the 1960s, as well as the information regarding a man by the name of Timothy Leary. I had never really heard much about Leary until I'd read about him and listened to some of his lectures online. Later on, I became very enamored with Timothy Leary through the Psychedelic Salon. But my fascination with him and the hippie culture of the 1960s was also amplified by my love for psychedelic music and Pink Floyd. Long story short, I became enamored by it all and rented a film called Easy Rider. After this, I was recommended a double feature called Psych Out and The Trip. We'll discuss the former film later, but right now I want to concentrate on The Trip. I first watched The Trip and I found it a bit patchy and weird, but as time passed, I kept seeing certain scenes over and over in my head, and I knew that there was something deeper about this film for me. So I watched it again, and then again, and then again. It finally became one of my favorite films, not just from American International Pictures, but of all time. To me, it is more than just a B-movie about the 60s psychedelic culture, but a journey into much deeper realms. It has become personal. I have analyzed this film over and over in some sort of Jungian and Freudian and Lacanian sense, if you can call it that. Maybe it's just the way I do it. But I have embraced it in so much more depth than maybe it was even meant to be. Films mean different things to different people, and this one was a great inspiration. I have even written a song inspired by one of the scenes in the film. This film means a lot to me. So what is the basic premise of this film? Easy. A commercial ad director goes on an LSD trip during a divorce. And that is the simple explanation. I'll be doing a more in-depth review and analysis in part 3 of this video series. But this one is just about my trip story and my trip collection. Besides the main character, 2 of the characters that captured my attention were Glenn, the bombshell psychedelic goddess played by Salli Sachse, and Flo, the rather down-to-earth, lonely but beautiful lady in the laundromat, played by Barbara Morris. Unfortunately, Barbara Morris is no longer with us. But fortunately, I had the privilege and the great opportunity to have correspondence with Salli. I even have signed memorabilia from Salli, and that means a great deal to me. Salli was not just an actress, but she was also a model and a photographer and an artist, and she has several talents. I have linked her page in the description. I encourage you to go check it out and check out her art. She is a wonderful person, and I'm glad that I got to know the real person behind the character. I'm forever grateful to her for her kindness and friendship. Unfortunately, the main character, Peter Fonda, and also earlier Dennis Hopper, have passed on, but they will always be remembered fondly. Again, I will discuss this film in greater detail in the video of my analysis and review, but for now, I want to share my collection. Okay, guys, this is the collection of the 1967 film The Trip, and this is the first DVD that I ever owned of The Trip. It is also the kind of the way that I first heard of The Trip or got involved with it through Netflix, but this is my copy that I purchased. And of course it does have Psych Out, the double feature that I mentioned earlier. And this is the only version that I know of that has the featurette, tune in, trip out featurette. It also has audio commentary with Roger Corman. It has the psychedelic film effects. It has a lot of special features that you don't find on any of the other copies, DVD copies, and even on the Blu-ray. So this is a very good copy of the Trip, plus it comes with Psych Out and all the features, so I recommend this one. MGM Presents Midnight Movies. This is my first one, and I recommend this one highly. If you're going to pick up a copy of the Trip, I recommend this one as probably the #1 that you can pick up. Okay, next one is going to be my clamshell VHS copy, and this one, it's got Peter Fonda on the back of it there. From Vestron Video. If anybody has a VHS player, of course. I love clamshells, and that's a good condition on that one. Now this one is the newest version of the Trip, and it is made by Olive Films. And so it is just the Trip. It doesn't come with any other film, doesn't come with any features, just the film itself. It's a good quality, but not much better than any of the others that you have. That's the DV, pretty neat. I'm not very crazy about the cover of this one. It's probably my least favorite cover. It's not very creative. I think they took a lot of time with that. So, and finally we're going to get to this copy. This is a very special copy. Not only is it MGM's The Trip, and it does have the soundtrack in English, German, French subtitles, but it doesn't have any features, anything. I love when it first comes up on the DVD, and that, if you can see it, I'll try to zoom in a little bit. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, when it first comes up. But this one is very special to me because, there's the copy of it, because it is signed by Salli Sachse, and she is, of course, the psychedelic goddess that Peter Fonda meets and has an experience with. Very cool that she did this for me. I asked her if she would do it, and she did, and personalized it, signed it straight to me. If you guys missed that, see, to Trannon. A great aficionado. Thanks for being my Facebook friend, Best Salli Sachse. And she also has, like I'd mentioned earlier, her page. She does a lot of art, and so of course I do have it linked. Okay, let's move on to the next collection here. Now this is my LP copy of the motion picture soundtrack from 1967, The Electric Flag. At the time they were better known as the American Music Band. Later copies, The Electric Flag was added. And there it is, music from the Trip. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to zoom in on it. Peter's Trip, Joint Passing Psyche Soap, M23, Synesthesia, A Little Head, Hobbit, Inner Pocket, I can't pronounce that, Green and Gold, The Other Ed Norton Flashback. Very cool. It's got some extras on side B that you can't find. So this is a very good copy. Let me see if I can take a look at the LP itself. Bear with me one moment here. So we've got, well, can't get it out, but anyways, it's a good copy, not a lot of scratches on it. So Okay, and next we have, this is one of my special pieces of memorabilia here. This is Take a Personal Trip with Salli Sachse, Peter Fonda, and Roger Corman. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to turn this music down a hair so we can concentrate here a little bit better. But this is Take a Personal Trip with the stars, Peter Fonda, Salli Sachse, Roger Corman, the trip. This is an interview LP. All it is interviews. It's the first side is an interview with Peter Fonda, Salli Sachse, and Roger Corman. And the second side is the entire interview segment with Peter Fonda, the late Peter Fonda. And so this is a very unique piece here, very rare, and I have it. Okay, next is a little memorabilia from Salli Sachse, and this is around about the time of the making of the trip. And this, of course, is signed as well. Love, Salli Sachse. And there you go. Okay, and finally, we have this. What I waited on for a while. Very unique find, very rare. This is the Trip Press Kit book. And there you go. American Internationals, The Trip, Peter Fonda. And let's see what we've got here. If I can turn the page here. There we go. There's Salli, and I'm trying to see who that lady is. She was a dancer. I think it was Susan Walters, or yeah. And then here we've got Salli, beautiful Salli. And then here, Trip. All this information on the trip. This camera keeps wanting to zoom in and out, but I'm trying to get it to. There's Salli, Peter Fonda, Peter down at the bottom. Over here you have Dennis Hopper. Some of the scenes. There's Peter and Salli at the bottom. Susan Strasberg over to the far right. Okay. Here are some ad campaign advertisements. Over here, some more. I worked at a newspaper for a while, so I'm very familiar with what these means. Column inches, things of that nature. And there is a feature story about Roger Corman and the film. Here is a flash window card with Salli. Okay. Still got some more here. There are the dancers. Psychedelic paint. Peter Fonda in the laundromat. That was an interesting scene. We'll get into details when I do the film review. Over here, some more ads. Some more cards. Open this part up here. There's some more. Interesting. Over here, we have more. And then, of course, there's the interviews that I have. Promotions, okay. And then there is the back of it with all the posters. So that's it, guys. That is my collection so far of the trip. I'm always looking for memorabilia from this film. I'm also looking for any props. If anybody ever has any props that was in the film, or you know anyone that would have props, or where I can find it, anything, please comment, get in contact with me. I'm always looking for stuff having to do with this film. Memorabilia, props, anything. Really, really interested. So that's it for my collection, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.